Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing here on this Monday morning? This is Reganelite here. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you had a lovely weekend. For those who celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. For those who did, I personally don't. I know not everybody here did, but if you did celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good one indeed. But it is December, guys. It is December, which means we have 25 days and 24 days to be exact until Christmas coming, guys. So yes, the festivities are coming along, which also means the political madness is not going anywhere either, guys. Luckily for me, I have almost sorted out all the Christmas presents, which is very, very good. Needed to. There's so much. I've got so much to do this month already as it is, so I needed to kind of backtrack. And this weekend, me and my partner, because we had so much going on the weekends, we decided to get all the decorations set up this weekend. So we got Christmas lights out, got all that. Got that out, got the Christmas trees up. I've got obviously that tree there you see behind me. Of course, I haven't really decorated in here too much. It's more really the living room, the hallway, really, and the outside. Really, pretty much is what we essentially did there. So no, I didn't really do too much in here. No. I got the Christmas hat to put on, but I don't feel like wearing the hat at the moment here. But for those who are new here, those who don't know, my name is Reganelite, and every Monday to Friday between 11 and 12 o'clock, we do a 1 hour show here where we look at the daily quota, we look at the weather, what's happening in the terms of weather, and then we'll have a look at the news as what's happening, so such as like Guardian, Sky Sports, BBC for UK as a couple of examples, or the Financial Times, or the Times, or some kind of world news like the NBC or Associated Press, Al Jazeera. It's like all is what we do within an hour as well. So we look as much as the news and we give our thoughts and reactions to them as we go along. So get us an idea of what's really going on in the world. And normally, if a normal number of papers are normally saying it, it's probably true. And I say probably because we don't know 100% for sure, to be fair there. So let me just say a quick hello to everyone in the chat. Stephen Banker, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Linda, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Christina, good morning to you. Alex Adams, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Melody Air, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Can I just point out it's World AIDS Day? It is World AIDS Day today. Thank you so much for telling me that, Stephen Banker. Thank you for sharing that. Hard to decorate a beach, Regan. You're right. That's why I'm going to be getting... I'm going to be looking to do... I'm going to... The intro and outro videos don't really suit this kind of climate, so I'm going to be trying to look for a snowy one for Christmas. So that is on my bucket list to do today, just for reference there as well. Right, let's get started, guys, with the usual stuff. So, first and foremost, here is today's daily quota. Here it is here, guys. 1st of December here. Here it is. And a link for it is in the description if you guys want to, want your own daily quota here. From Robert H. Schneidholler. I hope I said that right. Probably not. So here it is. Let your hopes and not your hurts shape your future. Let your hopes and not your hurts shape your future. Very nice, simple one there to kick off the December period. There. Very nice, simple one there. And we will see tomorrow's one tomorrow, of course. Why is it not? Why is it always on the edge there? Crazy. At one time yesterday, I actually found periods to actually play video games, believe it or not. And then this giant spider just started crawling along my desk, and I was like, just made me jump. I was like, ooh, like this sounds crazy. But mind you, when the temperatures are really cold, they need places to find places to warm. And obviously the computer is something warm, so the heat is going to attract things to it. It's funny how insects and spiders are attracted to it, but not but not the cats for some reason. Well, it might be because the cats don't really get to come too much in here. Maybe that's probably the reason, to be fair. So how is the weather looking out there today, guys? Well, where I am exactly, it is very windy and it's very wet, is what I will say. But let's have a look at the world. Here is the world, guys. Here is our big, beautiful blue planet here. We've got some rain, we got some snow, we got some different kinds of temperatures out there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Some temperatures are literally the same because the BBC can't be asked to jigger them around. So yeah, you can see most parts of the world temperatures haven't really jigged too much because they just haven't bothered with them. Some of them they have changed, some have not. Here you can see, but there's different weather patterns all over there. Got some cold spots obviously up in the north of Russia, in parts of Russia there you can see there. And I saw lots of parts of Northern America and Canada experiencing a higher range of snow there, as well as Iceland there. Nothing really too much in terms of snowstorms down in the south. Really, it's mainly up in the north, those temperatures there. Zooming in a bit closer here, we've got quite a lot of cloud around parts of Europe and parts there. We can see Iceland there is going to be experiencing some very wet and snowy storms. They got 3 degrees there, but high winds there as well. They've got in Reykjavik there, so parts of that as well. Also there, Chile 4, experiencing quite a snowstorm there. Murmansk a -11. That's cold. St. Petersburg 4, Moscow 0. Like I said, you can see this big patch of grey cloud here. You can see the temperatures very chilly there. Warsaw 1, Kiev 4, Chisu 6, Vienna 5, Zagreb 2, Prague 1, Berlin 3. Very, very cold temperatures there. Budapest 5, Tirana 10, Istanbul 11 there. Athens 15, Rome 11, Nice 12, Bern 1, Paris a chilly 6. Excuse me. Madrid and 7, 13 and 7 respectfully there, as we got there. Most of Europe is pretty dry. It's just a couple of showers here and there, but most of Europe at the moment looks like it's pretty dry here. If I pull it back a little bit, yeah, most of it is going to be dry today, most parts of Europe pretty much. But here where we are, and I'm sure some of you guys are experiencing it, have been experiencing it now, Brussels 6 there, Berlin 3, London 12, Cardiff 11, Manchester 12, Dublin, Belfast 7, 7, Edinburgh 8. It is, woke up this morning, it is literally a storm outside. And this storm's probably going to be around all day here. You can see here, literally all day it's going to be around parts, pretty much throughout the whole of the UK. So you're going to get high winds, you're going to get high rain in pretty much most parts of the UK. Some parts it may calm down, but most parts it's not. So that storm's literally going to come right crashing all along here today. So please take caution when traveling today, guys, if you've not already. There, just for reference there. But moving overnight into the next day here, guys, temperatures are going to drop 5, 6 degrees in parts of Ireland and Northern Ireland respectively. Manchester 8, Cardiff 8, London 10, Edinburgh 6 there. Moving in there, we can see some dry spots overnight, but there is still some rain forecast. Parts of Scotland are going to be getting those rains, parts of Wales as well, moving into the 2nd of December here. As we move into Tuesday morning here, very chilly Tuesday morning here. You can see from those temperatures there, very cold there on early Tuesday morning. But again, some scattered showers here and there, nothing too serious. Mainly on the south of England, south Spitz parts of south of England, south of on the south coast of Wales there, and parts of Wales there. Little bits in the Midlands, in the north of Scotland there, tiny bit there, and some showers here and there in the northern parts of Scotland here, but we can see there as well, just to be wary of there. But moving a bit further on into Tuesday afternoon, into Tuesday evening again, you can see those rains still scattered around there. And again, no snow, but still temperatures pretty much all day Tuesday is going to be cold. So just be aware, like tomorrow, like the storms that we're experiencing now, they'll be gone tomorrow, but there'll be parts of rains here and there around. So just do be aware of that as well. Moving into the next day here, guys. Again, you can see the temperatures are going to be dropping again. It's going to be brutal. 6 degrees, 4, 5, 6, 5, 7 temperatures, which is what you should be expecting in December anyway. Overnight, please take caution. It looks like here that the winds are going to finally drop off as well. Moving into Wednesday morning there, we got some snow. Looks like it's going to be reported going to be some snow and showers in parts of Scotland there on Wednesday morning from the looks of it there. Yeah, some of the high mountains in Scotland are going to be experiencing some snow, which should be expected there as well. But you can see Wednesday morning, you can see these temperatures here into the afternoon. Temperatures are going to increase Wednesday afternoon. London 10, Cardiff 10, Manchester 8, 9, 7, 7. So there'll be a bit warmer in some parts over on the day of Wednesday. But moving into Wednesday evening, 6, 7, 8, 9. Temperatures are going to drop off again. And then we'll just have a quick nose into Thursday there. You can see there, Thursday looks like there's going to be some rain going to be coming through there. That rainstorm looks like it's going to be coming through as well. What are we looking at later on in the... We're just having a quick browse here for Friday. It looks like, Friday's going to be very cold here. You can see those temperatures really chilly there. But they will pick back up on Friday. So, yeah, we're going to be experiencing another rain and storm next weekend. Looks like it's going to be coming there. So, interesting there. So, yeah, so today, obviously, storm out there. I do actually need to go out, believe it or not. I'm not going to do a proper walk today, but I will try and do one tomorrow. But just if you are traveling to work, if you're going to work, in and out, whatever your plans are, please be aware of the high winds and rain and storm out there. Pretty much most parts of the UK is going to be experiencing that wherever you are. So you're going to experience showers in some way, shape or form. So just be careful out there is my advice to everyone listening today. Right, let's start with The Guardian and see what some of the news in the UK is saying, guys. So, Keir Starmer said he's proud of the budget as he defends Reeves from claims that he misled the public. UK Politics Live. Prime Minister gives a speech after reports that some ministers are unhappy over the handling of the budget. So, my first thought is absolutely ministers and Labour MPs have every right to be unhappy over the handling of the budget. The way in the build-up to this budget has been very doom and gloom and bleaky. I think that's very fair to say. Has this been a budget that's actually going to make lives better? Well, if you take, for example, the two-child benefit cap, that is a positive. That the removal of that will uplift lots of children out of poverty, which I think is a great thing. And that is a big positive out of this budget. Is this really game-changing? Is this a game-changing public budget? No. I don't believe that really a lot is changing. A lot of it was a lot of hogwash and a lot of talk from Rachel Reeves, and it really wasn't that there. Now, I think there is some misleading. I do think to a certain extent, yes, because if you go by what the papers were saying, what the stories were saying, in a run-up to this, what we were hearing, increase in income tax, taxes are coming. What did we actually get in the budget? Well, we didn't get an increase in income tax. What we got was stealth taxes from other parts. So we are technically getting tax increases, but it wasn't going to be the income tax, which is what everyone was saying. So, and there were leakings all over the goddamn place with this budget. And it turned out a lot of those leaks weren't actually real. And I hate that. I hate that so many things were leaked about the budget that weren't true, or that a lot of it was scaremongering as well, which I didn't like as well. So a lot of that really, really infuriated me. A lot of the forecasting that she was giving as well was not what the OBR was saying, even though the OBR, by the way, is not something to be trustworthy of as well. So in turn, I do think, she misled the public in some sense. However, I also believe that the media are the ones who also put the stories out as well. Peter, good morning to you. I hope you are doing well. I am busy today, so enjoy. Thank you so much for the £5 super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Hope it's not too stressful for you. And thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Appreciate your support. Very kind of you. Whatever your plans are, whether it's working or whatever, I hope you have a very good day. And I mean that for everyone who's listening. So what else is there from The Guardian here? Rage bait is named Word of the Year by Oxford University Press. Rage bait. That sounds like something from video games there, like Call of Duty or something. Rage bait. That's where that slang seems to come from me. As Centre dubs 800,000 staff reinventors amid shift to AI. There's a transition of less workers and more artificial intelligence there. Virgin Media has been fined £23.8 million for putting vulnerable customers at risk. What did they do for putting them at risk? Company failed to protect thousands of people switching from analog to digital landline Ofcom rules. Switching them from analog to digital landline found the company failed to protect people who relied on telecare alarms to call for help after Virgin Media self-reported a number of serious incidents in November and December 2023. Telephone networks owner have been switching millions of people to digital landlines in recent years, but the move can disrupt some telecare alarms that rely on analog systems to communicate with call centers or carers. Ofcom found serious system failures in Virgin Media's process of moving its customers to a digital landline between August 2022 and December 2023, which included failure to properly identify and record the status of people with their telecare alarm. Virgin Media's approach to disconnect telecare customers who did not engage with the switch process put thousands at harm and prevented their devices from connecting to alarm monitoring centers while the disconnect was in place, a regulator said. This is really, really bad. This is really out of order from Virgin Media here. What they should have done is making sure that before they switch over, they make sure that they still have that protection there as they're switching over. That's what it should have done. What you do is you switch them over first, then you switch off. Then you switch them over first, and then you disconnect the system they currently have. Shouldn't be the other way round. Of all times to get a... Sorry, guys, 1 second. The door. Parcel at the door. Why do these people keep ordering from Amazon? Ah, god damn it, guys. Yeah, I know. I'm blaming Amazon. I can't stop my family. I can't stop family members using Amazon, guys. Sorry. So today's fine makes it clear to companies that if they fail to protect their vulnerable customers, they can expect to face similar enforcement action. By the way, no one else is in the house, just for reference. 23.8 million fine, which Virgin Media must pay within the next 4 weeks, will be passed on to the Treasury, which includes a 30% discount as Virgin self-reports the incident to Ofcom, admitting its failings and cooperating with the investigation. Very poor from Virgin Media, yeah. Very poor from them. So, this one really actually grinds my gears. I've got to touch on this, guys. So, Bangladesh court has sentenced UK MP Tunib Siddique to 2 years in prison in absentia. The MP for Hampstead and Highgate in London denies allegations and condemns fraud and farcical trial here. Let me just touch on this a little bit, guys. So a court in Bangladesh was sentenced the British MP to 2 years in jail after a judge ruled she was complicit in corruption land deals with her aunt, the country's supposed Prime Minister. In a ruling on Monday, a judge found that Siddique, the Labour MP, was guilty of misusing her special influence as a British politician to coerce Hassana into giving vulnerable pieces of land to her mother, brother and sister. Siddique's mother was given 7 years in prison and considered the prime participant in the case. The trial has been carried out in absentia, and on Monday, neither Hassania Siddique or nor a dozen more other members of her family accused in this case were in the court as the verdict was read out. The UK does not have an extradition treaty with Bangladesh, and it's unlikely Siddique will serve the sentence. The Labour Party said it did not recognise the corruption judgment against Siddique because she was denied the opportunity to a fair legal process in the case. Okay, so this is I have to be open and honest with you. So I've obviously been aware of this case for a while, and I don't know how reliable Bangladesh is government. It's court trials in its case here, and the Labour Party doesn't accept this and claims that the case is corrupt and that this is against it. The honest answer is I don't know enough about this to say that she's definitely innocent of all charges. Now, obviously, like the obvious thing is obviously go and fight the case and prove you're innocent, sort of thing. But what you wouldn't want is actually finding out is that she ends up there and she ends up being thrown in prison. Now, I'm not comfortable personally with her as an MP, with this case, with this sentencing hanging over her. Now, they're claiming this is a corrupt case. Again, I don't know enough about this, but I'm not comfortable knowing that she is a politician, she is an MP, when something like this has been put upon her. And this has been going on for a long time, and she's constantly been playing this down and pushing it away, sort of thing. I do think there may be something to this all. I don't think it's just all... I really don't think it's just all word for mouth, or they're just out to get her and her family. I think there is something to this all. I really do think there is something to this all. I think there is something to do with to this. I'm not comfortable with her personally being an MP. Luckily, she's not an MP in my area, but if I'm from Hampstead and Highgate, I would not want somebody as my MP who has been sentenced to prison in another country, and regardless of what you might think of their system, I wouldn't say it's the same as Afghanistan, for example, or Iran, but it doesn't sit well with me. Let me put it that way. So I don't like the fact that this is sitting here. But there is something here, and she is involved in some way, shape, or form. And my fear is that down the line, when she's no longer an MP or Labour are no longer in government, that more comes out about this that exposes her. That does worry me. Then normally, like, there's nothing about her work that has been questioned as a politician. Nothing about her work has been questioned as a politician, because I haven't seen anything that makes me say she's been a bad politician as an MP. But it's not something that I'm comfortable with seeing this sentence being handed down to an MP, and yet she's just going to carry on as an MP, and it's just like doesn't feel right to me. But let me know what you guys think. No smoke without fire, Sassim Banker. This is the thing. Like, it's very hard for me to sit here and say, yeah, it's just ignore Bangladesh. It's totally fine. No, there's got to be something here. Like, is it really a case that Bangladesh are just out to get her and her family? Like, I don't know about that. Hi, Ellie. I've been watching a cardboard box with a microphone during a press conference. Was that Keir Starmer talking? Here's the other thing I wanted to touch on here from The Guardian as well, guys. The UK refrains from hitting the high streets on Black Friday as fears grows over the economy. So data comes as the KPMG highlights soft consumer spending as one factor likely to hold back growth in 2020. So yeah, guys, the Black Friday event looks like it didn't go very well, ideally. So shoppers held back from visiting the high streets over the Black Friday data shows amid fears weak consumer spending will put the brakes on economic growth in 2026. Visitors to all UK shopping destinations were down 2%. And on Friday, and 7.2% compared with the equivalent days last year, according to the monitoring company MRI Software, where locations near the central London office admit with a few experiences to lift in visits. While most Black Friday sales are now online, the pictures there also serve a mixed bag. In the run-up to the big weekend, sales were down heavily on Thursday, but up on Tuesday, according to Online Retail Association IMRG. Quote, the cost of living squeeze appears to be weighing on overall activity, said Jenny Matthews from an MRI. The lackluster data comes as consultancy highlighted soft consumer spending as one likely factor to hold back the economy over the next 12 months. Despite the fact that most of the £26 billion tax rise and impact of Rachel Reed's budget would not be felt until later, KPMG suggested cash-strapped households will continue to be cautious as unemployment ticks up to 5.2%. The outlook for growth for 2026 is subdued, reflecting the impact of the cooling labour market and weak household spending. The medium picture could be improved further if planning reforms unlock housing delivery and uncertainty for investors. She added, predicting GDP growth of 1% for 2026 and 1.4% of 2027. Yeah, well, we'll wait and see on that growth here, to be fair. As for the Black Friday, like, I was skeptical, like, is it really going to take off? And again, like, you have to remember, this is an American thing that's been hijacked here. And I said in the run-up to it that a lot of the deals were not actual good deals. They just basically painted them in black and in black and whatever colours they wanted to use to say, look, it's a Black Friday deal. When the actual fact it's not. It's just promotion. It's just the same promotions as before. And they're just trying to trick people into spending money that they don't necessarily have. And people are being more careful with their money, and they need to be more careful with their money now. Someone says he's proud of budget. Yep, we saw that already. Any other stories here we haven't looked at here from The Guardian? Well, I think that's everything here, guys. I will touch on this, actually. I was going to leave this. I was going to leave this in another story. Fucking picture. Your party members vote to make her name permanent at the 10th first conference. So I listened to I don't know how many of you guys listened to the speeches, listened to activists around the conference. So your party did have their conference, and they have voted to name the party Your Conference. This has been nothing but this was a train wreck in the run up to the conference, and unfortunately it felt like an iceberg. They hit another iceberg at the conference. So allegedly what's happened is on the first day of the conference on Saturday, some members weren't allowed in the conference, apparently, which, you know, there's different factions within this party. And Zara Sultana basically was outside protesting. Jeremy Corbyn claimed he had no idea what was going on. Zara Sultana has been out there literally walking amongst the public throughout both as well. So it's not like she hasn't been afraid to engage with the public here. Where Jeremy Corbyn's been a little bit different, apparently. Corbyn has kind of not been right in the face discussing things with people, from the looks of it there. Yeah, I really don't like the name. I think it sucks. I really personally don't like the name at all. And I've said this before, and I've said this again. I think Zara Sultana, really has not helped herself. She was the one who initially announced the party when it wasn't supposed to be announced when it did. She's the one who took control of the money and launched the membership before discussing it with others. She has taken the initiative when she is not to. So all the more reason why I don't think the Greens should bring her on board in any way, shape or form or capacity, because she's not someone to be trusted. Now, it's not to say that Jeremy Corbyn's side hasn't been made false either, but I just think this whole thing has been just one chaotic problem after another. It really has, the whole thing. So yeah, it's been a calamity. It's been an apathy. Yeah, the party's name is called Your Party. That's what they have voted on. All they did at the conference was voted on the name of Your Party. They also voted on the type of kind of party that they're going to have. So it's not going to be one leader. It's going to be a group of people running the party. So it's not going to be one divine leader, which I don't know how well that's going to work, especially if you have disagreements within that group as well. And then the rest of it was just lots of angry speeches. My idea. I don't know how many other. I think those are the two things that they voted on at the Pride conference, which is a bit of a shame. You kind of need to vote a bit more on policies and whatnot. So I do have questions. I don't know how well it's gonna. I really don't have much faith in this party still, but they made it through the conference. Let me put it that way. They made it through the conference. But until one side kind of goes, it's just going to be kind of all over the place there. Yeah. So it's officially called Your Party. That's the official name because that's what they voted for. Instead of some of the other names, which I thought Progressive Alliance was a good name. I think it was one of the names up for grabs. I thought that would have been a better name personally. Let's have a look at Sky News here. We've seen that story already. Starmer delivers a speech as Reeves accused of misleading public over budget plans. Zara Sultana hits out at witch hunt and bullying as Your Party is officially named. Yep, she's claiming there's a witch hunt and whatnot against her, despite the fact that she's the one hoarding the members' money, despite the fact that she's the one who announced the name of the party without consulting Jeremy Corbyn. Yeah, okay. Just putting those out there on the record, guys. Senior Minister's defender Rachel Reeves over claims she misled the cabinet on tax rises. Of course, they didn't lie about budget forecast. Chancellor tells Sky News. Well, that's kind of hard to say because the OBR said differently to what you were saying in your budget speech. So, who's telling the truth here then? Yeah, so, I wouldn't take Rachel Reeves seriously at all. Father pleaded with his son not to kill me. Religion's a challenge when prayer can't help. A family of a man who died on Benidorm holiday said they have new evidence of foul play. That's not good. Police investigation urged to reopen investigation into rape allegations against Al Fayed. Danger to life warning for parts of the UK as months worth of rain to fall in the 24 hours. Yep, like I said, there's lots of it's a rainstorm out there at the moment. And Jasper, if you hear a cat meowing, it's just Jasper just wanting attention. And he's got food, he's got water, he's just being annoying. UK Special Forces had deliberate policy to kill fighting age males in Afghanistan, inquiry told. Talked about Virgin Media being fined. More HIV testing can help end new cases in England by 2030, says Streeting. Good. Anything that helps catch more people HIV, good. Anything of that sort is always a good thing to see, guys. Always a good thing to see. Get yourself tested. Take no chances. Let's have a quick look at the BBC, see what they've got going on here. Sounds like they needed to rename our renovated station. Guy got £50,000 and banned it the same as it has been renovated, says Melody. No, your party, nobody gets paid for that. Well, this is the other thing as well, is that calling it that, it's going to be difficult to have a conversation with people. Like people who aren't into politics, right? Like you try and having a conversation with somebody on there saying, hiya, I'm from your party. And people will be like, what? It's called your party. Like, I just think the name is like, yeah. Maybe Jasper wants to be on camera. No, Jasper doesn't want to be on camera. If he ever wanted to be on camera, all he had to do is come in here. Yeah. They should have called it UK Reform. That way it'll continue to confuse Reform UK voters at the ballot. It'll split the votes. Reform won't get any wins in theory. Yeah, I think it was send the wrong kind of message. It was send the wrong kind of message. Oh dear. Oh my God, I cannot believe this, guys. Jonathan Gullis, he's back, guys. Gullis is back, and he's gone to Reform. Bloody hell. Oh, he's going to be an MP again, isn't he? He's going to be an MP again. We're going to have Jonathan Gullis as an MP again for Reform Russia, aren't we? Former Tory deputy chair. He was deputy chair, remember? Defects to Reform. Jonathan Gullis, the former Conservative Party deputy chairman, has announced he has quit the party and joined Reform Russia. The former MP of Stoke-on-Trent North and Education Minister has been a party member for 18 years, said he believed the party has lost touch with the people it was meant to serve. It comes 1 month after Councillor Daniel Jellyman, the Conservative group's leader of Stoke-on-Trent City Council, also defected to Reform UK and became the party's leader on local authority. From failing to control both legal and illegal migration to pursuing a net zero agenda that has seen a rise of household energy bills and put jobs, Stoke-on-Trent's world-famous somatic senior sector at risk. The Conservative Party has understandably lost the trust of the British public, Mr Gullis said in a statement released on Monday. During his time in Parliament, he served as Minister for School Standards in the Department of Education and was appointed as Deputy Chairman of the Conservative Party last year. Absolutely mad he was put in that position. He's currently the mayor of Kidsgrove. Reform UK gained its first seat on the City Council after Councillor Luke Shendon won by by-election in May. Shelton says Jonathan's decision to join us is a huge boost for Reform Russia locally. People of Stoke-on-Trent deserve better than this failing Labour government. I remember the people of Stoke-on-Trent were asked questions about him and they said he was they were just trash-talking him. They were saying he was a little joke. And ever since he lost his job as an MP, he couldn't get a teacher. He was a former teacher, remember? He couldn't get back in the class because of things that he has said in the past, and they didn't want, because of the language and the things they use, they didn't want him associated with their kids. You know, schools were put off from having anything with him. Blah 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 blah. Together we'll fight. Yeah. So Jonathan Gullis is going to be back on our screens very soon, guys. I know. You're all looking forward to it. Tories urge financial regulator to investigate Reeves and Treasury over the budget cover-up. Yeah, I do think questions need to be answered about that. Questions definitely need to be answered about that. Let's have a look. Any other news stories? Head of UK Special Forces suppress evidence of war crime. Officer tells an inquiry. So 2 former heads of all UK Special Forces suppressed evidence of possible SAS war crimes, a former high-ranking officer has told a public inquiry in closed evidence sessions. The officer is among the most senior in Special Forces, said he had passed on what he called explosive evidence suggesting criminal behaviour to the then Director of Special Forces in 2011. He also told the inquiry that the subsequent Director Special Forces, who took over in 2022, clearly knew there was a problem in Afghanistan and failed to act. The claims come from a testimony published on Monday by the independent inquiry relating to Afghanistan, which is examining allegations the SAS murdered detainees and unarmed civilians, including children, during the operations. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. Children as well, allegedly. An angry confrontation, online abuse inside the asylum protest in a divided town. We were filming an interview in the outskirts of a public park in Falkirk when a woman approached. Can I ask you why you're encouraging these men to sit in the park? She asked while recording the exchange on her phone. The man we were speaking to for our latest disclosure documentary was living in a nearby asylum hotel where angry protests have been taking place since the summer. The woman said men from the hotel have been following local children and asked us to take our interview elsewhere. From this point, a group of asylum seekers who we hadn't noticed playing football nearby appeared over the hill. She told me it was my fault that they were there, and if anything happens here, I've got it on your head. Wait, what? Why is it his fault for an interview? The woman uploaded her video on the internet. It was viewed millions of times after being shared by right-wing influencers such as Tommy Robinson. She was hailed as a hero for standing up to women and children. I was deluged with abuse and warned that I should stay out of Falkirk. I don't believe my interview with this man, who later withdrew consent for his use, put anyone in danger. But this encounter and its aftermath gave me perhaps the sharpest insight into the fear that some within the town and beyond have about asylum seekers in their community. There are about 6,300 people seeking asylum in Scotland, many of whom arrive via a small boat across the channel. About a quarter living in hotels while the UK government decides whether to give them sanctuary. Spent the last few months filming at protests against the hotels around the country. In Falkirk, there are more than 11,000 names on the housing list waiting for new homes. There is anger at a perception that these men, and it is only men, in the Clangdon Hotel have jumped the queue. Can I ask why you're recording these men to sit in the park? She asked while recording the exchange on her phone. It's very weird. Yeah, I haven't seen the footage that she shared. It's a very weird story. Very weird story. A man refuses to appear at court over the train attack. Why is he... After refusing to join a video link from in prison. Oh, okay. What a dumbass. Just take, what you did was like... One array reindeer sparks huge surf after fleeing festive celebration. Oh no! Reindeer's gone on the loose in Wales, guys. A reindeer called Buddy sparked a huge surf operation after it went on the run. Armed police officers, the Coast Guard and members of the Royal Marines were called to track down the animal from North Wales after it fled a festive celebration in Fulby, Merseyside on Saturday. The animal escaped and was eventually captured several hours after falling asleep in the dunes of a nearby beach before being returned to its owners. Oh, it's been caught. Described the events as bizarre. It's actually quite tropical for this type of the year, isn't it? Well, they managed to find it. The reindeer seen here in night vision were eventually tracked down. Well, thank God, guys. Christmas is saved. They found the reindeer. Vape still causing rubbish fires despite disposable ban, major West firm says. Yep. Not enough being done about vapes. Real anxiety among farmers over blue tongue virus, minister says. Landmark order to increase organ donors has had little impact. Those are some of the stories there from the BBC. Let's switch gears and have a look at some news from outside there. Just a reminder, guys, if you want to help contribute to the Super Chat goal, it'd be greatly appreciated there. Just need 4 more to get to today's Super Chat goal. It'd be greatly appreciated if we can get there. Let's see what Al Jazeera are saying here. Random, did you know that the Enfield house is in Clacton? Just saying. I did actually know that. I did know that. Can't have all the reindeer. Santa would go in circles. I know, it'd be crisis for Santa Claus. Absolutely crisis. We have nothing left. Severe floodings across Asia kill over 1,000 people. Yeah, I touched on it in a short video. You know, there's floodings are really, really bad across Asia right now. Really, really bad. The monsoon is not getting worse. How I'm fighting the US prison system from the inside. Why are prisoners being given computers? Just out of curiosity. I just don't think that's right. Venezuela calls on OPEC to counter US threats. Floods in Indonesia, Sri Lanka and Thailand leave over 1,000 dead. Greek farmers clash with police amid protests over delayed EU subsidies. Canada, Trump-backed candidate Nasserin Asla leads Honduras race, early trends show. Why is work-related migration to rich countries falling? Pope Leo insists on a two-state solution to resolve the Israel-Palestine conflict. Got that in a short video. Top global arms producers revenue surge as major wars rage. SIPRI reports. What a surprise, guys! From Israel to Elon Musk, SpaceX, and other giant companies in the US and Europe, arms producers had a profitable 2024. You don't say! Revenues are from sales of weapons and military service by the 100 largest global arms producing companies reach a record $679 billion in 2024. According to new data released by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, the SIPRI. $679 billion, guys. Think of how much that money could go to changing people's lives for the better. That money could be used to make such a difference to people's lives around the world. Instead, it's being used to create weapons of war, used to destroy each other. How tragic is that? $679 billion, guys. The Gaza and Ukraine wars, as well as global and regional geopolitical tensions and even higher military expenditures, increased revenue generated by the companies from sales of military goods and services to consumers domestic and abroad by 5.9% compared to the year before, the organization said in a report published today. The bulk of the global rise was attributed to companies based in Europe and the United States, but there were year-on-year increases in all regions except for Asia and Oceania, where issues with the Chinese arms industry drove down the regional total. So here are the top 100 arm producing countries here from them here. So you can see here the top 100 here and their revenues here. According to their documents, it's got it in US dollars here. BAE Systems number 4 there. Russia obviously up there. China up there. Lockheed Martin Group is number 1 with they're making the most profit from the looks of it here. Chinese, more different US weapons manufacturers here. Did Rolls-Royce produce weapons? Am I new to that? EBIT Systems, of course, Israel. Another Israel. The 2 more Israeli ones there. Of course, I was expecting Israel to be on this here. United States, Turkey, so many US weapons companies. It's insane. There's one Ukrainian one on there. So many US ones, and there's a couple of UK ones there as well, you can see in this document. So many US weapons companies. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Israel protests in Tel Aviv after Netanyahu sees pardon on 4 cases. I've got a video coming up at 12 o'clock today on Rumble with regards to that. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that, you can check that video out. I've already recorded it this morning, just for reference. So some of the stories there from Al Jazeera. Let's have a quick look at Middle Eastern Eye here. Israel continues to carry out strikes in Gaza as the West Bank raids continue. Meanwhile, Netanyahu formally asked for a pardon. Like I said, I'm going to cover that at 12 o'clock on Rumble in a video if you guys want my thoughts on that. Sudan war inside Khartoum. Sudan's ravaged capital where paramilitaries looted history. Overnight, an Israeli strike turned my family home in Gaza into a graveyard. That's horrible. South Park roasts Americans taking Saudi money in Thanksgiving special. That's pretty good. Very good. A nice way of taking the mick out of the Trump administration. UK visa rules leave Palestinian scholar in limbo and their children stranded in Gaza. Iran says it's captured Eswatini flagged tanker in the Strait of Hormuz, they claim. Campaign to free Palestinian hostages in Israeli jails gains momentum. ICC in limbo as the chief prosecutor's fate uncertain ahead of member state assembly. The United Nations report accuses Israel of a de facto state policy of torture. We know that because of how they treat their people within their prisons. Tunisia arrests prominent opposition leader to enforce jail sentence. I've got that in a short video, but Tunisia is really, really in a bad situation. Its president is just cramping down on anyone trying to stop him, question his authority. Yeah, any kind of democracy Tunisia's had has been eroded. It's being eroded now. Cambridge Union approves motion saying the word failed Palestine. Occupation UN says Israel's killing of 2 Palestinians in the occupied West Bank looks like summary execution. Yeah, so for those who don't know what this story is, so basically there was a raid in the West Bank and there was footage and photos sharing of 2 Palestinians had surrendered with their arms in the air. And basically what happened a few seconds later is basically they whooshed, the IDF shot them, basically. And apparently, I'm just saying what Israel was saying, apparently they're doing an investigation into it. Apparently they are. So, arms dealers make money during war. Tomorrow's headline, rain is wet, says Melody. Yeah, but just like that amount of money, $679 billion, you know, that money where it could just go to so many better things, you know. Dutchry's Neck, good to see you there. I hope you are doing well. You know, it's just so much money that could really make a difference to people's lives. Let's have a quick look in the US, guys, to see what's happening here. So I've got this as a Patreon video. Lawmakers are voicing support for congressional review of Trump's military strikes on boats. That video will be coming out at 12 o'clock on Patreon for free. If you guys want my thoughts on the drug strikes and the fact that Congress and the Senate are doing congressional reviews on it. Very interesting to see what comes out of it there. I will say this, though. Donald Trump and the Venezuelan president did have a phone call, believe it or not. So they have had a phone call over the last couple of days. New York Times have reported it. Donald Trump did confirm they did have a phone call, but what was said in that phone call, he did not disclose, unfortunately. So we can only speculate what was said between them, I'm afraid, there, guys. Venezuelan leader Morado may seem desperate, but his loyalty versus punishment strategy is hard to crack there. Excuse me. Trump issues White House invitation to families of the 2 National Guard members who were shot. Yeah, again, like what happened to them was absolutely disgusting and horrible. And I just hope, you know, I just hope, you know, they just get some closure. It's absolutely terrible what happened. Like, again, regardless of what you feel about what Trump is doing right now, like this person who literally drove across the entire country just to shoot National Guard members, just absolutely outrageous. Experts doubt the Pentagon can punish Kelly over the illegal orders video. Yeah, because you can't, because they're basically saying not to follow illegal orders. Like, that's exactly what was said in the video. It's very important distinctions there. It didn't say legal orders, it said illegal orders. So how can, you know, we're talking about illegal orders, so how can you punish them for that video? You can't. I'm not asking them to break the law. It's very clear. Trump communes prison sentence for former prison equity executive David Gilligan. Indiana lawmakers in State House to convene session with redistricting on top of mind. So looks like more states are looking to redistrict their maps to try and gain more support as well. Nice Christmas jumper. Yeah, it's a Star Wars one I've had for a while, to be fair. I've got a new one coming. I'm going to be wearing soon as well. Decided not to wear the Christmas hat today. but I will put the hat on at some point in the future. It's a Star Wars one. You can see the AT machine there. What else have we got here that the Associated Press have got here? Natural diamonds lost their sparkle, hitting some African nations hard. That's not good. Want to know about this week's diplomatic efforts to end the war in Ukraine? Doesn't look like anything's changed at the moment, but we know that Steve Witkoff is visiting Moscow this week. That's the US Special Envoy. He is visiting Moscow this week. Is anything going to come out of that? I doubt it, but I do think that's going to be interesting to see what is said there, or what we do learn about that there. Post-Thanksgiving, travellers in Chicago see hundreds of flights cancelled and delayed after a snowstorm. Yeah, they've had a massive snowstorm there, Chicago. So, any plans and whatnot? Yeah, snowstorms. But to be fair, that part where they are geography-wise, they normally get snowstorms, so that is kind of normal for them there. The Pope in Lebanon prays for peace at a tomb of Saint reversed by Christmas. Christians and Muslims alike there. Photos show the devastating floods in Indonesia, Sri Lanka and Thailand. Yep, absolutely terrible what they're going through right now. Sydney man has been charged with spreading a child sexual abuse videos tied to an international ring. Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, we don't really touch much on what's happening in Australia, guys. It's not a video, is it? 4 Sydney men have been charged with criminal offences over an alleged involvement in the distribution of child sexual abuse material linked to an international child sex abuse ring, police said. A New South Wales police task force identified the Sydney-based network while investigating the online distribution of encrypted child sexual abuse material involving realistic and Saturn themes. There's no run-of-the-mill child abuse. It's all abhorrent child abuse, yeah. These ones were particularly devastating in that they use symbols and rituals around their discussions and that they had about abusing children. It was very ritualistic overview, she added. Oh my God. Police executed multiple warrants around Sydney last Thursday and 4 men were arrested. Police also seized electronic devices allegedly containing thousands of videos depicting the abuse of children from babies to 12 years old. Police were alleged in court that this international group were engaging in conversations and sharing of materials in which depict child abuse and the torture of children involving symbols and rituals linked to Satanism and the occult. Jesus Christ. That's just so... A top New Zealand ex-police official pleads guilty to viewing child sexual abuse material at work. At work! It's bad enough you're looking at it, but you... Jesus. What's the matter with these people? Australia will enforce a social media ban for children under 16 despite a court challenge. So they're trying to stop it in court, but it looks like it's not going to happen. Looks like it's not going to be able to stop it there as well. Absolutely disgusting. That story really is disgusting. A massive ring of it as well. It's just even more horrific. What else we got here? Any other interesting stories here? Conservatives ahead of governing party in Honduras presidential vote. Early results show Honduras having an election right now. Let's hope it goes well for the benefit of the people of Honduras. I generally mean that. We've only got 5 minutes left already, guys. Unbelievable. Are we going to get anybody helping get towards our Super Chat goal today? Are we going to get there, guys? Are we going to get there today? Anybody want to help get to that goal today? Would be greatly appreciated. What else we got here? DC shooting suspect was part of a unit whose veterans have struggled in the US. CIA-backed Zero unit was an elite squad of Afghans who had faced hardships due to visa and employment issues. Christian Nome said the National Guard's shooting suspect was radicalized in the US. That's very possible. That is very possible, considering he was somebody that actually helped the US in Afghanistan. Any other stories here that we haven't seen? Fraudster. Heavy snow, flooding. Airbus said most of its recalled 6,000 A320 jets are now modified. Now they're gone. They're gone. The best Cyber Monday deals. Not really interested in that. Let's have a quick look at Africa news and see what else they're saying here, guys. We've got the front of front of Africa news here. Khartoum residents are under threat from environmental hazards in war-ravaged city. We've got here. Police clash with Flamengo fans in Rio de Copa Liberals parade. That's not good. Prominent opposition figure arrests in Tunisia. I've covered that in a short video. African leaders call for reconciliation and reparations for colonial era crimes. That's Algeria there. Congolese Nebo Louise Denis says the peace deal is legitimate. Yeah, I'm very skeptical about that. Very skeptical about that. Milan exhibition highlights 3,000 years of Olympic history. Just looking at stories here on the right, if anything is worth looking at. No, we covered all those stories, and they've got story on football. Why? Mali uses AI to teach school children in Bambala. They're using AI here. Since Mali adopted a new constitution in 2023, the country has 13 official languages, although French is no longer a part of that list. The language is a former colonizer. It's still presented elsewhere, including in classrooms. Authorities hope artificial intelligence can help students learn to read and write in local languages that they always speak with their friends and family. To achieve this goal, the Education Ministry has called on Robots Mali. This AI company has produced more than 100 stories in Barbalia, with the most widely spoken language in the country for students to read in schools. Helps me speak better with my friends. All of this is good, says 13-year-old Klareski Togo. At school, we only speak French. AI programs like ChatGPT and Leonardo are used to write, translate, and illustrate the stories. Since the stories are also illiterate, it teaches students to make the connections between words and their meaning very quickly. The organisation hopes to provide a solution to the lack of books in Malanians languages. Oh, that's good. They gained independence from France in 1960. Several attempts were made to replace the French education language with language in Barbalia. Those failed repeatedly, mainly due to a lack of resources or a lack of political will. Barbalia is our language and we should prioritise it. Yes, you should try to prioritise it. Yeah. You should try to prioritise your own language indeed. That's good. AI being used for the right reasons there. I think it's fair to say. The right reasons. Kiev Independent here. Zelensky meeting Macron in the US after US-Ukraine peace deal talks today. Drone attack reported near Russia's Danskin, damaging near the military facility. A governor has reported there. Zelensky meeting Macron in France. Yep, we just saw that there. NATO may get more aggressive in countering Russia's hybrid attacks, top military official says. We'll have to wait and see on that. Volition Airport halts flights again after balloon sighting. Leak calls expose US-Russia peace deal in Ukraine this week. Yep. Polish president cancels meeting with Orbán after Hungarian leaders' trip to Moscow. They were set to meet, and now they're not. All because he's gone to Moscow, Viktor Orbán. Well, that's very ideal, isn't it? Let's go and have a quick look and see some of the UK before we head out. Just have a quick look at the Financial Times here. Judges at risk under plans to restrict a jury trials. Top barrister warns. Could the JFK model keep down the cost of Heathrow's third runway there? Water bills in Northern England could subsidise dry out south under reforms there. Police to meet Lancashire councils after complaints about online abuse. Starmer to defend the budget, yeah, which he's literally doing right now. And let's have a quick look at the Times before we run out, and then I'll let you guys know what the plan is for this week. Scrapping 2-child benefit cap is a moment of personal pride, says Starmer. We kept our manifesto promises. They haven't kept their manifesto promises. The two Davies will re-emphasise that later. They haven't kept their manifesto promises. People keep saying that. They just haven't. Millions expect to miss out on prostate cancer screenings, apparently. Army just keep defence ministers in the dark over unsafe IAX vehicles. Teachers fear raid on school budgets to fund special needs reforms there as well. Here's some of the stories there from the Times there. Interesting stuff indeed, guys. Excuse me. So, guys, just before we head out, I'll be going live again tonight at 8 o'clock. So if you guys want to join me for that, we'll be touching on some of the UK news there. Feel free to join me for that as well. I will be going live every day till Monday and Friday at 11 o'clock for another Good Morning show. I haven't decided whether I'll cover Prime Minister's questions this Wednesday or not. I probably will, but I haven't made the decision on that. If I do, it'll go from a Good Morning show straight into Prime Minister's questions if I decide to do that as well. This Thursday, myself and One Angry Pagan with the Eco Flake show. We're doing it this Thursday, guys, because obviously later on in the month, it's going to be difficult for me to do any co-host shows. Then the next week is the Roundtable. Myself, Witchy Goth, and Jenny Random Scottish History will be joining me for a show there. So I'm very much looking forward to doing that as well. I did still want to do a show with Lee Corn before the end of the year around Christmas. No promises that will happen, but I do want to try and do that if we can. As for plans around Christmas in terms of content, guys, I'm looking at a calendar now. Like, I'm not planning to do a show on Christmas. I might do a morning Christmas show. I might not. I haven't decided yet. I will be doing the shows as normal on Christmas Eve. So I will be doing shows on Christmas Eve. I might do a fun show on Christmas Eve instead of a normal Snowflake Watch one. Reminder that on Wednesday the 17th and Thursday the 18th, there will be no live streams on those 2 days because I'm doing a lot of traveling those 2 days, just for reference. I'll let you guys know closer to the time about them as well. But thank you guys all for coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. Thank you, Peter, for the £5 super chat to make so that this live stream was not completely completely out. Unfortunately, we didn't hit today's super chat goal, but that's okay. We've had some very generous support last month, so I really so it's okay. I want to say a massive thank you. Not everyone can obviously support, but it's all right. Just obviously, if you can support financially, great. If you can't, obviously, just hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, watching my content, those are a great way to do so. I'll be recording Patreon Rumble videos for the rest of the week later on this afternoon. But if you guys want to check out the content I've dropped already, you can check them out now. Links for them both are down below as well. And also do check out the rest of our YouTubers, great YouTubers communities as well, such as Two Davies, Politics Social, Max Robert-Spear, Van Man Talks, so many other different great YouTubers. Do check them out. Links for some of them are down below as well. But on your way out, if you can for me, hit the like button, share it across social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.